My name is Sarah Smith, and I'm Associate Professor and Canada Research Chair in Art, Culture and Global Relations in the Faculty of Information and Media Studies at Western University. Cultural diplomacy is a communicative practice. It's basically the export of cultural goods and products and beliefs, cultural practices, sharing those with communities in order to forge connection and mutual understanding. So in my research, I look a lot at the sphere of visual arts. So one example of cultural diplomacy would be the exchange of exhibitions of visual art. So I've looked a lot at how Canada and Mexico shared reciprocal art exhibitions in the 20th century to mark different moments of their changing diplomatic relationships. So in this context, international relationships often refer to state-to-state relations. So we're talking about how different countries engage with each other. But in my research, I'm also interested in looking beyond state actors and looking at sub-state actors. So that could be different provincial or regional groupings, but it could also be different institutional actors such as museums, which have wide international networks. I'm a qualitative researcher, and I often use methods such as visual analysis, archival research, as well as semi-structured interviews in my practice. I spend a lot of time focusing on the visual arts, so I might assess artworks, I might speak with artists or culture workers about how exhibitions are coming together, and I also research museums, so I look at how these institutions take shape, how they interact with other museums and other entities. So my research practice is quite far-reaching. The role of art and the role of artists has been quite marginalized in understanding international relationships, and cultural diplomacy practices have a lot of power. They have power to forge connections, to build mutual understanding amongst communities that might not know of each other or might misunderstand each other. So I think it's important to draw attention to the role of culture in international relations, but I also think it's important to do research in this area because while not all cultural contact is inherently positive, there is a lot of potential to be found within cultural diplomacy, especially culture as a forum when in times of conflict. In my current research program, I'm trying to look at the work of practitioners in cultural diplomacy as well as museums and how they fit into cultural diplomacy. And why that's important is because a lot of the scholarship to date is really focused on state-to-state relationships, is focused on kind of larger governments and bigger institutions, and the role of culture workers has been marginalized. But not only this, I'm interested in understanding the perspectives of artists and culture workers and how they think about the work they do internationally.